Hi everybody, my name is Amanda Bond. This video is going to talk about how to do a one-hand kettlebell swing. So for the one-hand kettlebell swing, I'm going to assume that you've done a lot of two-hand swings, and if you haven't, then make sure you go and learn the two-hand swing first. There is a little link down the bottom of this video in the description, so just go click on that. Make sure that you're solid in your two-hand swing before you come into one-hand swings. So the main differences between the two-hand swing and the one-arm swing, the one-arm swing is going to use more core and a little bit more lat engagement. Because we have one arm that's loaded, it's going to make us rotate a little bit, and we're going to have to counterbalance that by pulling in that core a little bit more. Because we're only got one arm on the bell, we're going to be a little bit lighter than what we would do with a two-arm. And the two-hand swing is going to incorporate more power, and it's going to be a bit more explosive in the work. But this one has a little bit more lat and core engagement in it. So starting with your one-arm swing, again, you should know how to do a two-hand swing, so I shouldn't have to talk too much about foot placement and the hip hinging aspect of this. So when we grab the bell, you want to make sure that you're not gripping it really tightly, because that's just going to cause some friction on your hand, and that's how we end up getting ripped in our hands. So you want to have it a good grip, but more like on your fingers. So just nice and light. I also like to grab it in this little rounded part of the bell. And the reason for that is because it's a good progression as we move into a clean. Because this is really the step before we go into a clean. You're going to have to do a one-arm swing before you learn how to clean. So to grab the bell, we're just going to grab it down here. We're nice and light. It's gripped in our fingers. We're going to keep our chest lifted. And remember, we want to keep that core square. Same with those hips. So we're pulling that shoulder blade back and down, just like the two-arm swing. We're loading those glutes and hamstrings. I'm going to hike the bell back. So when we swing up, just like two, we want to lock it out. So again, this bell is trying to make me rotate to the side, and I want to avoid that. So I'm standing up tall, my eyes are forward, and there's a little bit of a bend in that elbow. So it's not a really big bend or anything like that. It's just not locked out. You don't want to lock this elbow out. You don't want it way out there. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the elbow joint. So you just want to have a bit of a light bend at the top. Again, this light bend is also going to set you up for when we come into our clean. So you want to have it a little softer, because otherwise, when you come into your clean, you're going to end up going all the way over. I'm not even going to do it, but you're going to need that little bit of a bend in the elbow so you can tuck it into that clean. So practicing the one-arm swing. Again, you want to practice it in that little grip there. You don't want to have it in the middle, because again, the same thing, when we transfer into the clean, you can't clean with your hand like this in the middle. This is how you end up with that bell flipping over and smacking you in the arm. So practice from this grip position down here. It's going to set you up for success when you progress into your clean. Practicing the one-arm swing, obviously you want to practice on both sides of the body. So practicing the one, start with the one side. So you just start with maybe like 10 reps on one arm. Then we'll put the bell down, and then you'll switch to the other side. Remember, thumb to bum when we do our one-arm swing. So gripping it here, we're not putting the palm down, we're putting the thumb down, and then coming up. Again, it's going to set you up when we go into those cleans. This is not the position we want to be in. You can see my elbow is a little bit straighter. Maybe you can't. But this isn't the position. Thumb to bum. Now I'm able to get that elbow a little bit softer. When you're feeling solid with those couple of reps on each side, then you can practice alternating those grips. And again, you want to keep that hand position on this little bend in this handle here. So how do you change positions without holding onto your hands? You're gonna have to spin the bell. So from here, you're gonna grip the bell, and as we come up, it spins, and then I let go. There's a moment in this top phase where that bell is weightless. So it's right there. I can let it go, and I can let it go. So that's the point where you want to do your little switch. And again, you can notice thumb to bum every time I swing. We don't want to practice this two-hand position. So one arm, because again, it's not going to help you when we progress into those cleans later on. So practice with a couple of reps on one side at a time, and then practice with that little rotation of the bell when we come into those alternating grips. All right. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, put a comment down below. If you didn't, put a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks. Have an awesome day. See you guys later.